please rise for the presentation of the colors and the singing of the national anthem by Alyson Harris.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Alyson. Would everyone please remain standing for just a moment? Last Sunday evening, the entire university community was saddened by the passing of Virginia Tech President Emeritus Charles Steger. Charles was a great educator, visionary, and leader who served Virginia Tech in the true spirit of ut prosum for nearly 4 decades, transforming it into one of the nation's leading institutions. He was a true friend of graduate education, increasing graduate enrollment by 12% and increasing the number of master's and PhD degrees awarded during his tenure. His legacy is truly all around us. Would you please join me in a moment of silence in memory of President Emeritus Charles Steger. Thank you. Please be seated. On behalf of the university community, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the Spring 2018 Graduate Commencement Exercises. We want to thank our governing body, the Virginia Tech Board of Visitors, led by Rector Dennis Tracy. Board members are appointed by the governor, and Virginia Tech greatly benefits from their deep and genuine commitment to the university. Rector Tracy and board members Letitia Long and Horacio Valeras are here with us today. I would also like to welcome Dr. Hans Robinson, faculty representative to the Board of Visitors, Robert Seebeck, staff representative to the Board of Visitors, and Brett Netto, our graduate student representative. Please join me in recognizing these individuals with your applause. Through this ceremony, we recognize your significant achievement and celebrate your talents, skills, and hard work. It is also important to note that these students would not have achieved their goals without the teaching, guidance, and mentorship of Virginia Tech's outstanding faculty. I would now like the faculty to please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Just as crucial as the role of the faculty, the supporting cast of family, friends, and community members behind each graduate student deserves recognition. Would these individuals please stand so we can congratulate them as well? Family, friends, community members. That's probably most of you. Thank you. Graduate students are important to the university's research, teaching, and engagement missions and are able to earn degrees in Blacksburg at locations across the Commonwealth and online. During the spring semester, 1,480 students earned advanced degrees and certificates from an offering of 150 master's and doctoral programs in 8 colleges. There are approximately 760 graduates here today. I believe it's a record. As part of the graduate commencement, we invite an outstanding graduate student to provide a brief message on behalf of the graduating student body, followed by the keynote speaker to provide reflections and perspectives. It is now my pleasure to present Virginia Tech's Interim Executive Vice President and Provost, Cyril Clark, who will introduce the graduate student speaker and the keynote speaker.
Thank you. Let me just take a moment to really congratulate our graduates and also and especially to recognize and congratulate all the faculty mentors, colleagues. I know how important this day is to you. Of all the important things that you do for Virginia Tech, none is more important than what we celebrate this afternoon, because this indeed is the legacy that shows what you have accomplished in so many respects. Thank you, and a job well done. So it is now my pleasure to introduce our graduate student speaker, Erin Lavender Stott, who is a native of Blacksburg and will receive her doctorate today in Human Development and Family Science. Erin has served as Chief Justice of the Graduate Honor System, was a founding fellow of the Graduate Academy of Teaching Excellence, participated in the Global Perspective program, and was inducted into the Edward Boucher Graduate Honor Society. She has accepted a position in the Department of Counseling and Human Development at South Dakota State University, which will begin this fall. Please welcome Erin Lavender Stott.
Thank you, Dr. Clark, President Sands, and Dean DePauw. As I think back on the last few years, the ideas that continue to come to me are around community and the phrase, "It takes a village." It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to raise a grad student. I see these things come up in my notes, in my blog entries, even in my dissertation. And during my time at Virginia Tech, I have continuously been struck by the strength of our community. As graduate students, we came into our programs knowing maybe one person, but often not knowing anyone. We come in with cohorts, or we come in on our own. Yet, during our time in graduate school, we have built our communities. With those we took classes with the other new guy in your program who has your same name, scared together at the GTA workshop, and now you see as a colleague and lifelong friend. We built our community with the people we traveled with for pleasure, to conferences, and to learn more about higher education around the world. We have slowly built up a village of people, a community who we see, who we speak to, we check in with, support at big events, and celebrate our accomplishments together. Every semester at Commencement, I have heard President Sands ask a list of people who supported the graduates to stand, the family and friends, the faculty, etc. Last December, I attended a friend's doctoral hooding and commencement at a different institution where they did not ask family or friends or anybody who supported the graduates to be recognized. This stood out to me. It showed me how different it is at Virginia Tech. When I was with some of the Boucher scholars at the induction in Connecticut, I was struck by the fact that the Tech graduate students knew each other's work, were friends and colleagues before traveling together to the event. It showed me how strong the graduate community at Tech was. Community is a challenge in our individualistic society. It is difficult to cultivate and to maintain. Graduate school can be an incredibly lonely time. Added to the natural stress of being constantly challenged to go outside our comfort zone, the loneliness is all the more acute. Yet through talking with each other, listening to each other, discussing our dreams and failures, discussing service, social justice, and change, we came together to build a community. Through challenging the status quo and working to ensure that all voices are heard, we come together with different backgrounds and different identities to move our community forward. We have the hard conversations and admit our mistakes, and our community supports us, works with us, and pushes us to be and do better. Those we surrounded ourselves with helped us to remember to slow down once in a while. Our community helped to make sure we were eating during prelims or writing theses, dissertations, or final projects. We had a village of faculty and staff in our programs and in the graduate school that supported us and rooted for us. In the end, it was about assisting each other, supporting one another, learning about one another's work as we navigated this bizarre, stressful, yet thrilling period of our lives that we call graduate school. And today, we get to take the moment, slow down, and spend time together celebrating our accomplishments. As we move into our next chapters of our lives and career, may we take the time to mindfully build and maintain those connections with our village and community. May we be intentional to maintain our community and our village. And may we continue to find these people in a community and making our village. Congratulations to you all on your accomplishments and best wishes on future endeavors wherever they may take you. Thank you.
Thank you, Erin. I now have the pleasure to introduce Dr. Virgil Wood. He is a church leader, educator, and civil rights activist who worked closely with Martin Luther King Jr. for 10 years. Currently, Dr. Wood is a Right Now Fellow with the School of Public and International Affairs and leads the Virginia Tech, Virginia Union University Beloved Community Initiative. His involvement with this nation's civil rights movement goes back decades. His work as a church leader and educator extends to his teenage years when he was ordained as a Baptist minister. He has served churches in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Virginia. During his pastorate in Lynchburg, he established a local unit of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, the SCLC. He also served on the National Executive Board of the SCLC and coordinated the state of Virginia in the historic March on Washington on August the 28th, 1963. He holds a doctorate in education from Harvard University, and his books include In Love We Trust, Lessons I Learned from Martin Luther King, The Jubilee Bible, An Introduction to Black Church Economic Studies. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Virgil Wood.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Hello, graduates. And here you are now about to step out and do your thing, sure enough. But there's one question that you must answer. This question didn't make it to your qualifying committee, but I have to ask you. I've been deputized because I'm on a campaign to turn the world over to Grandma. I believe Grandma in office could fix the world in 2 weeks. Might take 3 weeks, I don't know. But that's the question I want to ask you. As erudite and as learned as you now are, do you know that you're not smarter than Grandma? All right now, come on, tell me. Well, all right then, I take it. You're ready to go. I ask that simply because I love your guiding motto. In fact, I had been on that trail all my 87 years, and I didn't know it. There are awakenings in our lives that are significant. And one awakening for me is the year about 5 years ago, when I was 82 years old, I got really smart because I found out that my wife was smarter than me. And I mourn the fact that it took me so long to find that out. But I want to thank her for coming with me today, my wife of 65 years. "67 years ago, I saw her walk across the campus of Virginia Union, and my heart turned over like that, and it's still turning." I thank you for coming with me, darling. I want to tell you how thrilled I am. Rector Tracy, thank you so much. President, thank you so much. Dean DePaul, thank you so much. And I want to thank these graduates for being ready to face a world that needs everything you've got. I love your motto, ut prosum. I want to add 2 today, ut serviatum. And the third one is ut Ubuntu, a little mix of Latin and Swahili. My work with Martin Luther King makes me hopeful in the midst of evidence that is emerging. I believe that the work we did with King answered a fundamental question. King's mentor was a man named Vernon Johns, who stirred the pot in Montgomery and made that soil ready for the work of Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks. He disagreed with our thrust in the civil rights movement. In fact, president of the seminary I was teaching in over in Lynchburg when I was a pastor there in '61 also disagreed. When he fired me, I had half of his faculty in jail and half of his students in jail. And he called me in and said, "You Negroes running around here talking about some integration." He said, "You don't have sense enough to know the white folks y'all gonna do the entering, they're gonna do the grading." Well, I tell you what, I would love to have come here in '48, but I'm just as happy as I can be to be here today. This is a big deal for me. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. Virginia Tech is one of the best kept secrets in America, probably across the globe. And I want to tell you that I've had the pleasure of being here in the work with this wonderful faculty. You have an extraordinary faculty, and this faculty can rival any faculty on the globe. And it's been my pleasure to work in a project that has uncovered some young people in Virginia who now know that there is a wisdom of the old that matches the wisdom of the young. I'm not one who believes that only old people have wisdom. I believe young people have wisdom too. Who could look on those young people from Florida and not rejoice in the wisdom? Sometimes we old people don't have wisdom. We have collective folly. That's why the world has the challenge it does today. The children didn't mess up the world. They just got here. I don't want to blame the children for what they are not doing that we have not taught them. They do as well as we have taught them, and therefore, the fixing of the world. Martin Luther King said at Oslo in 1964, I have the audacity to believe that people everywhere can have 3 meals a day for hungry stomachs. I believe that what you do here, President Sands, gives real hope to that prospect. Somebody says that we knew why we were doing what we were doing in the civil rights movement. Didn't get the how right. Didn't get the how right. Brennan Johns, whom I just mentioned, said, Martin Luther King, we must have a debate. You're talking about a beloved community, but you got to understand that the Grecian idea of love is different than the Hebraic understanding of love, because when you understand what the Hebraic wisdom is, you understand that there's also technique to community. And therefore, when prosum meets seriatim, it's that I may serve, ultimately that we may serve. And when you answer the question, who am I? You have to also align with that question, whose am I? Who are you as you go forth with your wonderful new level of capacities and character and competence? Let the world know that yes, we will feed a hungry world. Yes, we will, because of the things that we're learning together. And like the eagle that renews itself, like the eagle that only lives on what lives, like the eagle, not a hawk or a vulture, but the eagle that flies high, that renews its own life and lives as long as humans. They that wait upon love shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. And so I say to you, I rejoice with you as you go forward to face a world that needs everything that you've got, the best of your heart, the best of your mind, and the best of your will. Mount up like eagle wings. Run and don't get weary. Walk and don't you faint. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wood. We appreciate your commitment to community, to graduate education, and to our principles of community and inclusion. So thank you very much for being here. At this time, I will ask Mr. Matt Wilson, Senior Associate Vice President for Alumni Relations, to join me in the presentation of a very special award. The Graduate School and the Alumni Association established the Graduate Alumni Achievement Award to recognize graduate alum who have achieved the highest goals in their fields. I am pleased to announce that the 2018 recipient of the Graduate Alumni Achievement Award goes to Dr. Mauro Atala. Dr. Atala, will you please come forward?
Give me a second. Thank you for allowing me to stand before you and with you to present this prestigious award to Dr. Atala. The Graduate Achievement Award is given to an alum who has earned a graduate degree and has distinguished him or herself in the world, in their careers, and in their lives. And we are very proud and pleased to present to Dr. Atala this award. So on behalf of the entire Alumni Nation, the entire Hokie Nation, I hope that you will accept this award on our behalf.
Each year, we select an unsuspecting graduate student for special recognition. Now, you can all think, is that me? Well, I'm going to tell you who it is. This year, I want to recognize Alyson Randall, who is earning her PhD in Instructional Design and Technology today. Alyson, will you please stand? And of course, you want to know why we are recognizing her today. Alyson came to Virginia Tech, and keep standing, in 2011 as a volunteer track and field coach, and became a grad assistant for strength and conditioning for the Olympic sports in 2014. The same year, she began her doctoral studies. That she would coach athletes with Olympics dream is no surprise. Alyson is an Olympian. She competed in discus, representing Jamaica in the 2012 Summer Games in London. She also was a gold medalist in 2013 Central American and Caribbean Games. Alyson is known for her positive attitude, motivation, dedication, and unparalleled organizational skills. Her advisor has said of her, and I quote, "Alyson's efforts and accomplishments in instructional design and technology program are as world-class as her performance on the field." Thank you very much. Congratulations. And now you can be seated. And as you know, every graduate student has a story to tell about their journey to degree completion. And we really don't have time, especially with record number attendance, but we don't have time to share each story, but I will attempt to highlight some milestones and achievements along the way and recognize students from the universities throughout the Commonwealth. So this is an interactive part of the ceremony. Please rise and remain standing if you were a part-time or full-time student at one of our extended campuses in Roanoke, the National Capital Region, or elsewhere in Virginia. And I know you're here. Thank you for coming to Blacksburg. Don't sit down. No. This is please rise and remain standing if you have received a national fellowship or scholarship. Yes, there's more of you. Please rise and remain standing if you are a recipient of the Outstanding Master's Student or Doctoral Student of the Year, the Alumni Association Graduate Teaching Excellence or Service Awards, the Preston Society's Master's Thesis, or Graduate Student of the Year. Please rise and remain standing if you have earned recognition as a Graduate School Citizen Scholar or Diversity Scholar, participated in the Grad School's Global Perspectives Program, a member of AEL or IDR. Please rise and remain standing if you have served the university by participating in the Graduate Honor System, in the governance through Graduate Student Assembly, University Committee, or representative of the Board of Visitors. Or please rise and remain standing if you have participated in the GSA's Research Symposium, received a Travel or Research Award through the Graduate Student Assembly, attended any of the many events and workshops sponsored by the Graduate School throughout the year. And I know there's more of you out here. I'm going to get you all standing. Please stand if you have ever visited the Graduate Life Center, the Graduate School in Blacksburg, Roanoke, National Capital Region. By now, you should all be standing, visited walk-in services, gone to the outdoor plaza. Anyway, by now, all of our graduates, I hope you are standing because I want to congratulate you on your accomplishments and thank you very, very much for being a part of this vibrant Virginia Tech graduate community. Please join me in a round of applause for our graduates. And please be seated. As we prepare to introduce the candidates for graduate degrees, I want to share a tradition that the graduate school began over 12 years ago now. And this is the presentation of an original music composition as a gift to our graduating students. The composition is written solely to celebrate this day, Commencement Day. Today's composition by Associate Professor Eric Lyons is entitled Of the Beginning. Please take a few moments to enjoy the music accompanying the slides on the screen, images and reflections.
We will now begin the conferral of doctoral degrees. A very old and special tradition in academia accompanies the presentation of the doctoral degree. The doctoral candidate and the student's major advisor, the advisor who most mentored and supervised the student's research, walk together to the stage where the advisor places the hood over the head of the graduate. By hooding the graduate, the faculty member symbolically welcomes the graduate as a professional colleague, and this professional relationship and friendship often continues through the graduates' and the mentors' lives.
Will all candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Education degrees please rise? President Sands, I have the honor to present the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy and the Doctor of Education degrees.
With the power vested in me by the Board of Visitors in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and upon recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon you the Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Education degrees to which you are entitled, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
You may be seated. Will the marshals please escort the candidates for the doctoral degrees and their major professors to the stage for the hooding ceremony? Dr. Joe Marola will now read the names of the doctoral recipients and the hooding professors.
Receiving the Doctor of Philosophy from the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences in Animal and Poultry Sciences, Xinyan Lang, hooded by Professor Hong Lin Zheng. Sarah Regina McCoskey, hooded by Professor Alan Ely. In Animal Sciences, Dairy, Taylor Timothy Yohe, hooded by Professor Christy Daniels. In Crop and Soil Environmental Sciences, Jasper Benedict Batad El Puerto, hooded by Professor Takeshi Fukao. Jin Shi Zhan, hooded by Professor Meredith Steele. In Economics, Agriculture and Life Sciences, Nam Hoon Kim, hooded by Professor Travis Mountain. In Entomology, Meredith Idana Schrader, hooded by Professor Douglas Pfeiffer. In Food Science and Technology, Hyun Sik Stefano Chu, hooded by Professors Sean O'Keefe and David Kuhn. Oscar Andres Galagarza, hooded by Professor David Kuhn and Joseph Eifert. Andrew Hyung-Gro Lee, hooded by Professor Amanda Stewart. In Human Nutrition, Foods, and Exercise, Laura Elizabeth Bayliss, hooded by Professor Samantha Hardin. Dane Weston Faustnacht, hooded by Professor Matt Hulver. Kimberly Ann Kinney, hooded by Professor Elena Serrano. Natalie Ann Krusliakova, hooded by Professor Jamie Zellner and Professor Velisa Hedrick. Cassie Marie Mitchell, hooded by Professor Brenda Davey. Megan Loving Wilson, hooded by Professor Samantha Hardin. In Plant Pathology, Physiology, and Weed Science, Haley Lee Ann LaRose, hooded by Professor James Westwood. From the College of Architecture and Urban Studies in Architecture and Design Research, Shabnam Kavusi, hooded by Professor Patrick Miller. In Environmental Design and Planning, Abdullah Ibrahim Abu Zaid, hooded by Professor Georg Reichert. Benjamin Daniel Chambers, also receiving the Master of Life Science in Entomology, hooded by Professor Annie Pierce. Shamin Javed, hooded by Professor Georg Reichert. In Planning, Governance, and Globalization, Kristen Cherish Kirk, hooded by Professor Max Stevenson. Suleiman Jai, hooded by Professor Daniel Breslau. From the Pamplin College of Business in Business Finance, Sharam Amini Mogadam, hooded by Professor Raman Kumar. In Business Information Technology, Zachary Edward Davis, hooded by Professor Lara Kansa. Richard J. Gruss, hooded by Professor Alan Abrahams. In Business Marketing, Daniel Joseph Bodine Villanova, hooded by Professor Rajesh Bagchi. From the College of Engineering, a husband and wife, both receiving their doctoral degrees. He in Electrical Engineering, Munawar Mahmood Soho, hooded by Professor Jeffrey Reed, and she in Engineering Education, Bushra Tawfiq Chowdhury, hooded by Professor Vinod Lohani. In aerospace engineering, Thomas Andrew Batista, hooded by Professor Craig Woolsey and Professor Francis Valentinis. Jacob John Bean, hooded by Professor Craig Woolsey. Edward Brady Depke, hooded by Professor Michael Phelan. Chung Wei Lee, hooded by Professor Mayuresh Patil. In biological systems engineering, Emily McLaurin Bach, hooded by Professor Zachary Easton. Heather Lynn Governor, hooded by Professor Leanne Chromatis and Professor Kali Hession. Wei Hua Guo, hooded by Professor Ryan Senger. Tyler Adam Keys, hooded by Professor Durrell Scott. Moges Berbero Wagena, hooded by Professor Zachary Easton. In biomedical engineering, Alexandra Rochelle Heiler, hooded by Professors Eva Schmeltz, Rafael Davalos, and Mark Stremler. In chemical engineering, Sophia Michelle Orbach, hooded by Professor Padma Rajagopalan. In civil engineering, Ali Heftala Ali Al-Batal, hooded by Professor Farouk Jazizadeh Karimi. Emily Dawn Garner, hooded by Professors Amy Pruden and Mark Edwards. Edwin Edgardo Gonzalez Montalvo, hooded by Professor Michael Garvin. Jose Alberto Guevara Maldonado, hooded by Professor Michael Garvin. Hooded by Professor Andrea Dietrich. Catherine Petsumpu, hooded by Professor Andrea Dietrich and Daniel Gallagher. Siddhartha Roy, hooded by Professor Mark Edwards. Hauran Wei, hooded by Professor Peter Weichsland. Marjorie Rose Willner, hooded by Professor Peter Weichsland. In computer engineering, Amir Nabil A. Abdel Fattah, hooded by Professor Hesham Raka. Mark Edward DeYoung, hooded by Professors Joseph Trant and David Raymond. Ahmed Supay and Nudi Ibrahim, hooded by Professor Lynn Abbott. Prachi Joshi, hooded by Professor Haibo Zhang. Sarmad Tanweer, hooded by Professor Michael Shao. Bilgade Yus, hooded by Professor Patrick Chaumont. In computer science and applications, Dua Abdel Salam Ahmed Mohammed El Tarawi, hooded by Professor Anil Vulikanti. Mohammed Hassanusaman Buiyan, hooded by Professor Anil Vulikanti. Jose Eduardo Cadena, hooded by Professor Anil Vulikanti. S. M. Shamimul Hassan, hooded by Professor Edward Fox. Anna Marie Lial, hooded by Professor Steve Harrison. Jacob Stewart Porter, hooded by Professor Li Qing Zhang. Parang Siraf, and hooded by Professor Anil Vulikanti. Farsane Tabau, hooded by Professor Brian Lewis. In electrical engineering, Hossam Mohammed Abdelwahid Abdelgafar, hooded by Professor Heshem Raka. Farouk Ul Amin, hooded by Professor Sanjay Raman. Syed Mustafa Kelat Bari, hooded by Professor Chang Li. Sudeep Bhattarai, hooded by Professor Jung Min Park. Mina Salah Saeed Labib, hooded by Professor Jeffrey Reed. Zhang Xin Liu, hooded by Professor Mantu Hudait. Chetan Mishra, hooded by Professor Virgilio Centeno. Aditya V. Padaki, hooded by Professor Jeffrey Reed. Jeffrey Dwayne Poston, hooded by Professor Pablo Tarasaga. Nilufar Rashidi Mehrabadi, hooded by Professor Chang Li. Tamagna Roy, hooded by Professor Louis Beeks. Dong Seok Shin, hooded by Professor Kwang Jin Ko. In engineering education, Shreyoshi Baduri, hooded by Professor Holly Matusevich. Andrea Marie Ogilvie, hooded by Professor David Knight. Liliani Josefina Vergues Barroso, hooded by Professor Ken Reed. In engineering mechanics, Shuvodip De, hooded by Professor Rakesh Kapanya. Chian Lee, hooded by Professor Romesh Batra and Professor David Dillard. Hojat Pendar, and also hooded by Professor Jake Socha. In industrial and systems engineering, Khreyer Yaznek Berg Aprahamian, hooded by Professor Douglas Bish. Arash Baghai Lake, hooded by Professor Zhen Yu Kong. Fateme Sadat Hashemi, hooded by Professor Michael Tafe. Hyung-Hil Kim, hooded by Professor Joseph Gabbard. Jia Liu, hooded by Professor Zhen Yu Kong. Hong Yue Sun, hooded by Professor Ran Jin. In materials science and engineering, Ajua Sarpang Ba Juma, hooded by Professor Rafaela De Vita. Andre Terrence Stevenson, Jr., hooded by Professor Abby Whittington. Alexis Raven Trent, hooded by Professor Mark Van Dyke. In mechanical engineering, Sebastian Mark Corner, hooded by Professor Corina Sandhu. Hussam Ahmed Mohammed Al-Ghaneh, hooded by Professor Danish Tafte. Siddhartha Gadiraju, hooded by Professor Srinath Ekad. Tamara Guimares Bucalo, hooded by Professor Todd Lowe and Walter O'Brien. Hamid Hossein Zadigan, hooded by Professor Danish Tafti. Emilio Jimenez, hooded by Professor Corina Sandhu. Anil Kumar, hooded by Professor Finas Ben-Zvi. Tan Lee, hooded by Professor Corina Sandhu. Soo Hyun Park, hooded by Professor Srinath Ekad. William Stanley Rohn, Jr., hooded by Professor Pinhas Ben-Zvi. Wael Saab, hooded by Professor Finas Ben-Zvi. Prashant Singh, hooded by Professor Srinath Ekad. Fang Chang Yang, hooded by Professor Rui Chao. Isaac J. Yeaton, hooded by Professor Shane Ross and Professor Jake Socha. From the College of Liberal Arts and Human Sciences in Counselor Education, Danette Gomez Bean, hooded by Professor Nancy Bodenhorn. Kevin Anthony Doyle, hooded by Professor Laura Welfare. Patricia Ann Owens, hooded by Professor Nancy Bodenhorn. Catherine F. Sneed, hooded by Professor Laura Welfare. In Curriculum and Instruction, Stephen Patrick Campbell, hooded by Professor Thomas Williams. Helen Hendaria Kamantari, hooded by Professor Alicia Johnson. Harpreet Panesar, hooded by Professor Thomas Williams. Brianne Marie Peterson, hooded by Professor Bradley Bowen. Dianis Pupova, hooded by Professor Tilly Lubbs. Alyson Victoria Randall, hooded by Professor Barbara Lockie. In Educational Leadership and Policy Studies, Ayesha Ahmed Alazmi, hooded by Professor David Alexander. In Higher Education, Deborah A. Day, hooded by Professor Joan Hurt. Bridget Hamill, hooded by Professor Claire Robbins. Ryan Rideau, hooded by Professors Claire Robbins and Joan Hurt. In Human Development, Erin Suzanne Lavender Stott, hooded by Professor Catherine Allen. Mary Elizabeth Saunier Neto, hooded by Professors Sharon Ramey and Craig Ramey. In Rhetoric and Writing, Prabin Shering Lama, hooded by Professor Diana George. In Science and Technology Studies, Justin Donald Shanks, hooded by Professors Matthew Wisniewski and Professor Shelley Fowler. And our third edition for this ceremony. In Human Development, Aaron Ogletree, hooded by Professor Laura Sands and Professor Rosemary Bleesner. From the College of Natural Resources, in Forestry, Daniel Lee Gorlick, hooded by Professor Michelle Mortimer. In Geospatial and Environmental Analysis, Carrie Killeen Jensen, hooded by Professor Kevin McGuire. From the College of Science, in Chemistry, Nathan Carter, hooded by Professor Tiana Grove. Hans Elliott Edling, hooded by Professor Richard Turner. Fabian Pavosevic, hooded by Professor Edward Valeev. Chong Peng, hooded by Professor Edward Valeev. Han Lee Wessels, hooded by Professor Tiana Grove. Dia Chang Zhu, hooded by Professor Kevin Edgar. In Economics, Science, Sanaz Fesharaki. Atiye Vahidmanesh, hooded by Professor Nikolaus Tiedemann. Zong Han Young, hooded by Professor Nikolaus Tiedemann. And if you're counting, we're up to number 4. Sun Han Young, hooded by Professor Nikolaus Tiedemann. In Mathematics, Ryan Patrick Nikeen Bears, hooded by Professor Lauren Childs. In Physics, John William Villanova, hooded by Professor Kyung-Hwa Park. In Psychology, Amanda E. Halliburton, hooded by Professor Lee Cooper. In Statistics, Zhangguo Gao, hooded by Professor Peng Du. From the Virginia Maryland College of Veterinary Medicine in Biomedical and Veterinary Sciences, again, a husband and wife, both receiving their doctoral degrees. Chan Kao, put by Professor Zhang Jin Mang, and Qing Hui Mu, hooded by Professor Xin Luo. Xiao Hua Lei, hooded by Professor Li Juan Yan. Giulio Menciati, hooded by Professor Michel Borgarelid. Maria Cristina Villafranca Locher, hooded by Professor Willard Eyestone. In interdisciplinary doctoral degrees in macromolecular science and engineering, Gregory Charles Miller, Jr., hooded by Professor Judy Riffle. Ro Ron Zhang, hooded by Professor Kevin Edgar. In translational biology, medicine, and health, Kevin James Pridham, hooded by Professors Ji Shang and Professor Michael Friedlander. Nitya Priya Shivanthi Ramalingam, hooded by Professor Samantha Harden and Michael Friedlander. From the College of Liberal Arts and Human Sciences, receiving the Doctor of Education in Curriculum and Instruction, Pamela Lawrence Watkins, hooded by Professor Thomas Williams. In Educational Leadership and Policy Studies, Marceline Rollins Catlett, hooded by Professor Carol Cash. Michael Christopher Jarvis, hooded by Professor Carol Cash. Jonathan Dwayne Russ, hooded by Professor Carol Cash.
And yes, a hearty round of applause for our new PhD and EDD recipients. And 4 babies. Among the graduates today are individuals who have earned the Postmaster Education Specialist degree and those who have earned grad certificates. I want to congratulate each of you on that achievement. The university offers many distinctive master's degrees, including a large number from the disciplines that confer the Master of Arts and the Master of Science degrees. But we also have other master's degrees, including the Master of Fine Arts, Master of Business Administration, and many master's degree in specific disciplines such as architecture, business, education, engineering, forestry, information technology, landscape architecture, natural resources, public health, public affairs, and urban planning. Will all the candidates for master's degrees please rise? President Sands, I have the honor to present the candidates for the master's degrees.
With the power vested in me by the Board of Visitors and the Commonwealth of Virginia, and upon recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon you the master's degrees to which you are entitled, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please be seated. Will the marshals please escort the candidates for the master's degrees to the stage? And at this time, Dr. Merola will also be reading the names of the master's degree recipients.
From the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, receiving the Masters of Science in Agriculture and Applied Economics, Katie Stump. Yu-Ri Wu. Tyler Neff. Receiving the Masters of Science in Agriculture and Extension Education, Mackenzie Ann Bell Moore. Arogine Ronteria Denita Brown. Junior Boves. Receiving the Masters of Science in Agriculture and Life Sciences, Mikel Ann Conway. Stacy Nakayama Marshall. Mary Hoffman. Julia Reynolds. Teresa Dawn Mish. Tyler Hickson Painter. Receiving the Masters of Science in Animal and Poultry Sciences, Carrie Nicole Harden. Amanda Elizabeth Cordenbrock. Amanda Lynn Logan. Khadija Lashunte Russell. Receiving the Masters of Life Sciences in Biochemistry, Shraddha Prakash Lad. Receiving the Masters of Science in Crop and Soil Environmental Sciences, William Camp Vesely. Ruth Anderson. Kaylee Tate. Paulnisha Granger. Receiving the Masters of Life Sciences in Entomology, Haley Grace Bush. John Leroy Few. James Mason. Ashley Ann Toland. Receiving the Masters of Life Sciences in Food Science and Technology, Jordan Nicole Gary. Dajan Yu. Receiving the Masters of Science in Human Nutritional Foods and Exercises, Dimple Moshi. Susan Chen. Camille Back. Abby Gail Bellows. Danny Jaskowak. Whitney Elizabeth Stevenson. Stephanie Grasso. Samantha Nadia Adas. Alexa Brooks. Receiving the Masters of Life Sciences in Plant Pathology, Physiology, and Weed Science, Jordan Christopher Booth. From the College of Architecture and Urban Studies, receiving the Master of Architecture, Christian Donato. John Nicholas Maddox. Brianna Marie Morales. Macy Rose Carr. Arushi Mukesh Patel. Damiana Isabel Pacheco Aviles. Mark Jeffrey Whitley. Christophe Opitz, Chi Wen Jing, Xiao He, Ning Yang, Chi Rui Liu, Yu Xuan Zhao, Hao Yu Fu, Yi Kong, Chong Li, Shimantini Paik, Nilufar Heydarian, Eric Fendik, Dawal Shuresh Jain, receiving the Master of Public and International Affairs in Government and International Affairs, Catherine A. Hinton, Lauren Stewart, Yang Liu, receiving the Master of Public Administration, Michael Andrew Shipley, David Samuel Calkins, Charles David Sudith, Jeffrey Scott Summy, receiving the Master of Urban and Regional Planning, Curtis George Ralph Rowlett, Beth Olberding, Aishwarya Bharat Borate, Joe Neeland, Kelly Marie Fomenko, Gina Mary Sajiman, Donnie Barlow, from the Pamplin College of Business, receiving the Master of Accounting and Information Systems, Amanda DeLeo, Angeline Newberger, Claire Ahern, Danielle Agosta, Megan Turkle, Jamar Khalil Neely, Kobe Emery, Pang Gao, David Wayne Duyor, Kang Zhang, Mang Chi Li, Michaela Dalusung, Zhihao Ding, Kathy Yu, Mackenzie Robinson, Jerison Jamal Lee Whitehead, Christopher Latrell Moss, Jake Locke, Billy Klein IV, Daniel Wright, Burke May III, Drew Hawkins, Megan McCauley, Jamie Lee Sabota, Vi Nguyen, Jennifer Faye Kravchik, Kelsey Smith, Sydney Hunter Cook, receiving the Master of Business Administration, Kirilo Kuchinen, Satyam Packer, Sohaib Ahmed, and I've lost count, Barrett Colby Downs, Samantha Romano, Leonard Edward Mahoney, Paula Jane Eichenbrenner. Adam Christopher Anderson. Tauhi Zaman. Faizan Hasnani. Andy Balberdi. Zach Adams. Nathan Michael Bond. Jessica Tams Carter Hazelwood. Alex Fabricio. Zachary William Kemp. Dal Carson Savoy. Jay Ives. Greg Eichord. Alexander James Zello. Emmanuel Tesfaye Dereb. Joseph Awusu Yah. John Brabender. Evan Michael Carty. Ellen Jefferson Fuller III. Thomas Alford. Receiving the Master of Science in Hospitality and Tourism Management, Ahmad Yahya Al-Shukaiki. Ibrahim Ali M. Al-Subaihi. Christopher Edward Plum. Zahir Ahmed. Farida Adel Mohammed. Do Young Kim. Amanda Joy Baden. Judy Rady. From the College of Engineering, receiving the Master of Science in Aerospace Engineering, Kevin Joseph Barnhart. Megan Colleen Burns. Hunter Q. Hollingshead. Robert John Scheid. Peter Johannes Marshall. Siddhant Pratikumar Desai. Vishnu Ganesh Rajkumar. Udit Bhavesh Shah. Sean Ellen Offenberger. Sean Patrick Shea. Matthew Thomas Boyda. Receiving the Master of Science in Biological Systems Engineering, Morgan DiCarlo. Teniel L. Savels. Receiving the Master of Science in Biological Systems Engineering, Mehdi Katabchi. Receiving the Master of Science in Biomedical Engineering, Charisse Natasha Hughes Oliver. Ty Morris. Ryan Aaron Gellner. Receiving the Master of Science in Civil Engineering, Navya Muni Narayana. Yamini Mahendran. Aswin Sangameshwaran Muthakumarasamy. Shubham Manojukmar Parak. Satyam Narayan Chandak. Saniya Milind Kulkarni. Kavin Badres Doshi. Nikunj Rajesh Solanki. Pururaj Singh Shekhawat. Dhruv Jaydeep Desai. Mikiali Elizabeth Morgan. Vishali Vasudevan. Logan Andrew Perry. Joseph Spasiani. Cole Jakonski. Chris Rumsey. Carlos Eduardo Vega Naranjo. Tyler Kraus. Ethan Paul McBride. Daniel Antonio Linares Garcia. Elizabeth Angel. Rachel Cuprenas. Silvia Maria Barantes Quiros. Archit Manuja. Megha Ravishankar Rao. Sindhura Kadia. Pavan Thendulkar Kukundor. Adesh Vrushabahraju Jain. Akhil Infant. James Peter Keating. Paranjyati Lakar. Woo Jung Kim. Gita Wasurio Karchi. Elham Hajashimi. Ashish Anand. Kashiti Jarun Inerkar. Akash Chaurasia. Jeannie Purchase. Prithvi Shalish Kumar Patel. Aprajita. Anish Samir Kekre. Craig McKay. Santhosh Therakumaran. Sai Mohit Srinivasan. Bharani Rajasikaran. Pranav Sai Shankar Sampara. Suraj Gupta. Michael Joseph Malazzo. Amiana Marie McEwen. Lauren Marie Seaton. Megan Louise Hakel. Zach Lee Del Grosso. Patrick Marshall Higgins. Rebecca Lynn Gilbertson, receiving the Master of Science and Master of Engineering in Computer Engineering, Austin Podal Archiga. Sharib Bendilak. TK Kakusa. Kai Toy No. Ratvij Sanjay Mahajan. Is he now? I don't have a pen. What's your name? Sujay? Yes, Sujay. Okay. Abhijit Arundra Tawar. Kapil Narendra Kale. Sujay. Kirti Gauda Balahali Satyanarayana. Vikram Chandra Shekhar. Daniel Juzir Chiba. Siddharth Narayanan. Shruti Vikas Fadki. Akshatha Jagannath Kini. Ramohan Chaudhary Chinta. Venkata Pavan Kumar Balan. Kanika Sabharwal. Richa Sinha. Surabhi Satyajit Gujar. Abhishek Ajay Bendre. Kunal Bansal. Shruti Lavkumar Modak. Tanya Khanna. Shamit Bansal. Akshay Kumar Shastri. Badur Ahmad Shamlan Al-Bahar. Vinidra Sivakumar, Venkata Sai Kiran Adigopula, Prajwal Shantakumar, Sahil Dudani, Yingzhou Lu, Saili Uday Gadgil, Ton Moy Roy, receiving the Master of Science in Computer Science and Applications, Zachary Birch, Reed Bixler, Navyaram Venkata Kondor, Somya Vandekodi, Archie Dasgupta, Hassanuddin Latif Shaheen, Mukund Babu Maniam Rajagopal, Radha Krishnan Vinayagam, Nishal Kandru, Sanket Avinash Loki Gaunkar, Abhishek Chaun, Pratik Anand, Lawrence Elliott Warren, Patricio Moreno, Yu Wang, Yan Shen Yang, Shang Wen Wang, Abigail Joy Bartolome, Eric Williamson, Khadija Ahmad Al-Safwan, Andres Pico, receiving the Master of Science and Master of Engineering in Electrical Engineering, Janae Amber Wright Frazier, Chu Meng Zhu, Chi Chen, Rizwan Ali, Nugor Aditya, Shubham Agrawal, Tapas Kumar Barak, Aditi Garg, Zachary Alexander Gartrell, Sana Kamar, Paul Edward Rankin, Urvi Shalishbai Desai, Disha Sardana, Aishwarya George, Siddharth Kabra, Jinghui Yan, Alante Jakan Dancy, Richard Dumeni, Ana Graciela Lopez Marcano, Krutika Kikari, Sarah Hansen, Benjamin Kent Ashby, receiving the Master of Science in Engineering Mechanics, Guillermo Gomez de Freitas Gonzalez, Vamsi Chandra Misala, Sarah Emily Beauchamp, Zach Miller, receiving the Master of Science in Environmental Engineering, Garrison William Meyer, Shin Lu, Dylan John Cow, receiving the Master of Science in Industrial Systems Engineering, Dhruv Patal, Rohit Lakshminarayanan, Tejas Sinha, Anuja Kanabiran, Govindaraja Komanduri, Nisanta Kumar Nityanandan, Vivek Jayesh Buch, Dinesh Gaundla, Vidya Srinivasan, Trushit Sunhil Vaishnav, Balaji Subiram, Vishesh Prithviraj Chabria, Srinath Kanan, Gaurav Dilip Rathod, Sarah Mostafafi, Arishwara Srikant Leli, Atharva Sriram Bide, Chitan Shankar Hosamani, Anirudh Ramhari Moore, Atharva Suhas Kunte, Anand Sanjay Bujbal, Shreyas Anil Ganaji, Yogen Vilas Fanse, Neil Mohan Girme, Aishwarya Milin Sate, Preeta Chanda, Minal Anasaheb Patil, Michael Mason, Tian Shang Chen, Andrew Chung Chi Law, Chan Yu Zhao, Sanchi Mahendra Agarwal, Surabhi Anurag, Kashitija Vilas Jadhav, Shreyas Chandra Sekar, Shika Maria Varki, Akhil Vyas, Vasav Krishna, Romit Rajendra Chila, Mihir Krishnakant Parab, Rahul Vijay Bhatia, receiving the Master of Science in Material Science and Engineering, Zara Gallagher, David Hicks, Eric August Cothron, Ryan Chandler Taylor, Peter Loomis, Son Nam Nguyen, Michael Prezioso, Anastasia A. Yakusheva, Konstantin Samir Elias Farah, receiving the Master of Science in Mechanical Engineering, Srivatsan Sridhar, Aymar Khusru Khan, Aditya Narayan, Sanchit Sanjay Ingale, Jakin Nitungamar Jagani, Ashwath Yegyan Kumar, Shyam Krishna Shanoy, Sriram Srinivasan, Matthias Otmar Karch, Parth Bansal, Chad Gallagher, Ali Reza Roganisad, Hussein Al-Shawaf, Daniel Cook, Patrick Joseph Brew, Daniel Christopher Munden, Jason Emery Doyle, Justin Halper, Nick Agentis, Nick Alden, David Alexander Holmes, Deja Leandra Singh, Vitui Nguyen, Edward Joseph Turner, Clinton Wyatt Burns, Renzo Josue Raros Rivero, receiving the Master of Science in Mining Engineering, Eric Andrew Watkins, Scott William Saber, Manuel Julian Barros Daza, receiving the Master of Science in Ocean Engineering, Oliver Raj, Ajay Kurian Matthew, Kevin Michael Robinson. From the College of Liberal Arts and Human Sciences, receiving the Master of Arts in Communication, Rich Polikoff. Madison Catherine Lanier. Jesselyn Coble. Receiving the Master of Arts in Education in Career and Technical Education, Miriam L. Peace Saboka. Sarah Amin. Greg Fenner. Laura Thomas. Carly Pavan. Allison Janine Martin. Brandon Ryan Strossnider. Marisa Kate Estep. Simber Gail Stanley. Alicia Lochner. Allison Owens Ulrich. Receiving the Master of Arts in Education in Counselor Education, Morgan Laureen Searbaugh. Sarah Dunleavy. Lacey Faith Mize. Molly Catherine Raber. Louise Adams. Lauren Stiles. Julia Moran. Douglas Mao. Iomedes Sukoya. Jessica Ann Opalski. Madison Taylor Beatty. Nicholas Arkell Stansfield. Dawn N. Adams. Receiving the Master of Arts in Education in Curriculum and Instruction, Luke Muncy. Kirsten Korbeman. Emma Therese Tortolot. Kira Gersield. Rachel Prill. Chris Michael Grooms. Chris Marinucci. Samantha Kelly Hall. Olivia O'Brien. Becca Smith. Jared Rogers. Dakota West. Earl Cherry Jr. Grace Elizabeth Hemmingson. Caitlin Joy Sorensen. Kristen Conkright. Hannah Gao. Rachel Lauren Lubitz. Anza Laqueta Mitchell. Elizabeth Denson. Samantha Spitek. Christopher Ryan Savage. Christopher Anthony Dobson II. Brian Gente White. Catherine Elizabeth Hale. J.D. Grizzle II. Abigail Snyder. Molly Nesaw. Caleb Caldwell. Elizabeth Dixon. Educational Specialist, Curriculum Instruction, Rachel Michelle McNamara. Brian Queckenbush. Zhao Mo Chin. Virginia Arnold. Carrie Lynn Fries. Brittany McFarland. Emma Mayfoud. Claire Victoria Taylor. Daniel Tavener Jr. David Miguel Quintero. Amanda Elizabeth Rutledge, Julie Paige Kuhlman, Brianna Grace Harper, Emma Catherine Hamilton, Andrea Talgoni, Olivia Beth Ludke, Teresa Timer, Sydney Drinko, Caitlin Saunders, Hannah Elizabeth Cooper, Michelle Elizabeth Joes, Amy Judith Riley, Amondre Johnson, Shelley Jean Pence, Catherine Baird, Madison Elliott, Emily Adams, Caroline Taylor, Katie Martin, Brianna Grace Keisters, Jessica Marie Hartbarger, Rachel Decker, Sarah Light, Caitlin Marie Tuller, Teresa Nicole Brown, receiving the Master of Arts in Educational Leadership and Policy Studies, Mallory Lynn Brown, Jennifer Lynn Arthur Thomason, Leona Brown, Michael Hobbs, Alex Leonard, Amanda Gardner, receiving the Master of Arts in English, Mark Daniel Newhoff, receiving the Master of Arts in Foreign Languages, Cultures, and Literatures, Isabel Valenzuela, receiving the Master of Arts in Education in Higher Education Administration, Isaac Barber, Ashley Nicole Carter, Margaret Lakos Johnson, Stephen Curtis Tang Nhan, Hai Yan Chen, Allison Rebecca Mayer, Heather Lynn Corley, Bridget Kathleen Sullivan, Eric J. Margiotta, Emily Martha Pates, Kelly Murray, Erin Margaret McGovern, Taylor Alexandria Schiller, Matthew Lee Cheatham, receiving the Master of Arts in Material Culture and Public Humanities, Danielle Andrea Lewandowski, Drew Walton, Elizabeth Wells, receiving the Master of Arts in Philosophy, Dylan William Back, receiving the Master of Arts in Political Science, Laura MacArthur, Erica Stiper, Svetlana Marian, Jack Michael Vieri, Ali Namatpur, receiving the Master of Science in Science and Technology Studies, Kian Lung Lua, receiving the Master of Fine Arts in Theater Arts, Dylan Allen Baumgardner, Felicia Rose Fernari, Ryan Gerard McHugh, Thomas Joseph Murray, Allison Jean Owen, Mary Victoria Rathel, David Thomas Salmo. From the College of Natural Resources and Environment, receiving the Master of Science in Fisheries and Wildlife Sciences, Seth Hendrick Lutter. Receiving the Master of Science and Master of Forestry and Forest Products, Nathan Samuel Gerber. Receiving the Master of Science and Master of Forestry in Forestry, David Parrish Lee. Rachel Annabelle Pence. Ray Ludwig. Receiving the Master of Science in Geography, Logan Kane Stevens. Brianna Prince. Caitlin Anita Spangler. Srijana Bhattarai. Susanna Ellison Lindeman. Jessica Lind Kirkland. Ruoyu Zhang. Receiving the Master of Natural Resources, Sophie Parker. Megan Elise Carroll. Lisa Peterson. From the College of Science, receiving the Master of Science in Chemistry, Hanan Suleiman Al-Molhim. Receiving the Master of Science in Mathematics, Joseph Andrew McNitt. Trevor Norton. Zhao Yan Han. Elizabeth Marie Spingola. Ritika Dokanya, receiving the Master of Science in Statistics. Receiving the Master of Science in Physics, Brian Hammock. The Master of Science in Geosciences, Jessica Jeanette Shobalak. From the Virginia Maryland Regional College of Veterinary Medicine, receiving the Master of Public Health, Elizabeth Ann Barrett. Aubrey Nicole Stevenson. Clark A. Stridsberg. Kimberly Hughes. Anna Michelle Harris. Michael Charles Bittner. Monica Gail Goyanko. Paul Shin. Lauren Mills. Shruti Ganesh. Nicholas Lee Bilbro. Miriam Shelton. Megan Marie Kearney. Ian Hayslip. Maria Malakai. Tulia Valentina Johnston. From interdisciplinary degree programs, receiving the Master of Information Technology, Anthony Villacruzas Bausas. Amanda Lillian Clark. Tammy Gorbett. Jason Caldwell. David Batchelder. Daniel Balance. Cecilio Bezares. Jobin Abraham. Ryan Edward Zaka. Charles Daniels. Hafizman Chetaparambil. John Mills. Gordon Kelly. Garth Wormter. David Ashwell.
Okay, another big round of applause for our master's recipients. At this point, I would like to ask Matt Winston, Senior Associate Vice President for Alumni Relations, to bring a message on behalf of the alumni.
Greetings, graduates. Don't worry, I'm not going to be long. You're going to get out of here pretty quickly. But let me say greetings to the newest graduates of the greatest university on the entire planet, and that is Virginia Tech. This is a special day in your life and in the life of this great institution. You join a legion of Hokies, more than 250,000 strong around the world, who, because of their experiences here, are solving problems, serving their communities, and changing the world in which we live, play, and breathe each and every day. Our network is large, but we share a common bond represented by more than just our traditions. It is our commitment to service, our commitment to each other, and to the global community that brings us together and that separates us from the rest. As graduate students at Virginia Tech, you each played a unique and multifaceted role within our community. You brought your own undergraduate experiences into a higher level of learning and inquiry. You brought unique skills and perspectives from the workplace, from military and humanitarian perspectives, and from your own upbringing, and you introduced all of that into the fabric of this place. Many of you served as students, some of you as researchers, still others as teachers and as institutional ambassadors, and some of you did all of those things at the same time. This makes what you have accomplished in earning your graduate degree from Virginia Tech absolutely remarkable. You gave us your talents, and for that I offer my admiration, my respect, and my gratitude. For it is in the spirit of our university motto, Ut Prosum, that I believe your efforts here were delivered. As Hokies, we live Ut Prosum each and every day. It's more than just a motto, it's who we are. We serve others, we help each other, and we fight for what's right. And as the newest class of Hokies, we now depend on you to continue that service both to your communities and to our alma mater. Be an ambassador for the university that has supported you. Visit campus often, remaining engaged with your major professors and your research sponsors. Mentor other Hokies wherever you go, and share what makes our community so special with others. And tell us where you relocate so that we can keep you connected to Hokies nearby. As you entered into this hall, you each received a new Virginia Tech lapel pin as a congratulatory gift from the Virginia Tech Alumni Association. I ask that you wear it with pride wherever you go, displaying your affinity, your affection, and pride for our university. And as you go, you will face big opportunities and difficult challenges. But what you have gained here at Virginia Tech will arm you with the tools needed to overcome any obstacle before you. Know that from this point on, for the rest of your lives, that the world will expect extraordinary things from you because you are a graduate of Virginia Tech. On behalf of the Virginia Tech Alumni Association, I say congratulations to each one of you. We can't wait to see what you do in the world, and go Hokies. Thank you.
As a final note, I would like to call upon Dr. Hans Robinson, who is president of the Faculty Senate, and he will offer a brief message of congratulations on behalf of the university faculty.
So they say that getting a graduate degree is a bit like getting married, at least as much as it involves walking down an aisle while wearing a robe or a gown. It also gives you the right to change the ending of your name if you so desire. So now that you're all successfully hitched, let me be among the first to congratulate you on your your new status as Virginia Tech degree holders of masters and PhDs. In a regular marriage, all the hard work comes after the ceremony, but in your case, it's kind of the other way around. Your circumstances vary, but I know that to get to where you are, most of you have toiled countless hours over a keyboard or in a lab with generous helpings of frustrations and setbacks along the way. But you persevered, and here you are. This is quite an achievement. You have really done something that quite few people get to ever accomplish, and you really need to be very proud of yourselves. Now, I also have one note of caution. I know this comes a little late, but I need to let you know that the marriage you've just entered into doesn't come with the possibility of a divorce. That means that your new family here at Virginia Tech, we are your in-laws for life. And that's not just a metaphor taken too far. I mean, it is a metaphor taken too far, but it's also the truth. As someone who has graduated my share of graduate students, I can tell you that your advisors genuinely think of you as part of our extended family. We've taken great pride and joy in watching you get to this point, and we will continue to take pride in the many great things that you will do in the years to come. That brings me to my last point before letting you off on your honeymoon. Please don't be a stranger. Drop us a line now and then. Come visit. Let us know what you're doing. And if you ever need help or advice with anything, we will still be here for you, so don't hesitate to ask. And with that, on behalf of the faculty, thank you for letting us be part of your lives. Again, congratulations and good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Robinson, and a special thanks to Dr. Marola as the reader of names, to the faculty ushers and marshals, to Allison Harris, and to Wallace Easter and the members of the Virginia Tech Brass Ensemble for their part in this afternoon's ceremony. Now, please stand until the stage party has recessed. With the recessional, our ceremony will be concluded. Thank you for joining us, and safe travels home.